Back at the Salah to our Muslim brothers and sisters, it is indeed a season for spiritual lifting after months of lockdown due to a raging pandemic. It is also the season for political musical chairs in Edo and Ondo states as the gladiators get ready for another confrontation on the podium. The prize is the helmsman's seat. In Edo State, verbal jousting and claims of underhanded tactics have begun, while in Ondo, it looks like another face-off between two SANs in the Sunshine State to determine fortune's favorite. Also on Political Update today, we will examine legislative interventions in the quest for development. As some state party chairmen emerge, so are some state assembly members told to stay or to go. Strap yourself in and let's set sail. I'm Fisaya Ogunfuyi. Welcome. The All Progressives Congress in Edo State has described as disturbing what it calls politics of violence, intimidation and despotism displayed in the state in recent times. This development, the party says, poses a threat to peaceful conduct of the September 19 governorship election in the state.
The Mayaki recalled a protest in Benin City on Saturday, 25th July 2020, which turned violent, dissociating the APC from it.
The facts remain consistent and eloquent, and that the APC or any of its organs were not in the palace and the Oredo vicinity on the same day. Furthermore, it is clear that the youths that were never commissioned by the APC and their booing of Obaseki was done on their own accord. The victims of this violent attack clearly stated that they were attacked by agents of the governor. To justify and to solidify this fact, we will petition the IG and equally display all video evidence of our cars and other campaign materials destroyed in the riots.
Other allegations leveled against the state government were the use of language aimed at inciting violence, use of thugs and cultists to attack and assault dissenters, oppositions, as well as their members and facilities between June and December 2019. While naming the victims of the attacks to include Adam Sushomole, Edo House of Assembly members-elect, and Professor Ingovere's Constituency Office and Empowerment Program, Mr. Mayaki said these and other violent conduct of the PDP government in the state is not the way democracy works.
We demand that the PDP commence an immediate disengagement of all the thugs and cultists they had engaged and conscripted to rig and mar the election. We urge and demand an apology, full repayment of medical bills, alongside befitting compensations of the direct and indirect victims.
The APC in the past days has been calling for peaceful political atmosphere, even as the election draws nearer.
Meanwhile, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki says no amount of provocation will push him to encourage violence as a response to any aggression from his opponents. This was speaking after a closed-door meeting with stakeholders of the PDP in Edo State.
Governor Obaseki recorded that the last few weeks into the campaign witnessed a series of events capable of instigating violence in the state, but decided not to give in to the temptation.
I'm cognizant of the fact that I'm just not a candidate, but I am the governor, and I shall use the state power, the power which the Constitution has given me, with discretion and moderation. But that does not mean that the state is weak or I'm weak as a governor. It's just that I believe in respecting human rights.
Chairman of PDP Governors Forum and Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tabua called on leadership of all political parties to keep their supporters in check.
As leaders, we have all been appealing to our supporters to be law-abiding, to be peaceful, and ensure that there is no violence. And every leader should be able to do that. So I'm appealing to both sides and both leaders of the political parties that are participating to continue to talk to their supporters to restrain them from unleashing mayhem or violence.
Earlier, Chairman of PDP Campaign Council Chief Dan Obi and State Chairman of the PDP Dr. Tony Azigbeni urged the stakeholders not to fall for the trick of propaganda deployed by the opposition party, as PDP still has strong membership base and physical achievements to offer the party a strong edge in this election.
With the coming of the governor and with the figures we now have, It means if we sustain our efforts, there's nothing that can stop us from victory.
They called on their supporters to come out en masse on September 19 to vote for the Obaseki and Shaibu tickets.
All right, the verbal joust has begun. Meanwhile, 17 candidates will test their popularity in the ballot for the #1 seat in Ondo State on the 10th of October. Out of these 17, 2 are courtroom gladiators of some standing. For them, it is a return leg of a match which was first played 4 years ago. Let's hear from Amir Ogidi.
As it was in the beginning, so it shall be now and forevermore.
Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of the APC, warming up to defend his governorship title, while Itayo Jegede of the PDP strategizing to convince the people of the Sunshine State that he is the right person, having lost out in the first round of the political contest in 2016.
God willing, he is going to be the winner.
As they prepare to slug it out once again after receiving the anointing of their political parties for October 10th polls, the 2 senior advocates of Nigeria, this time around not consulting or seeking protection from the Constitution, neither saying objection, my lord, because obviously there is no judge to overrule, since the senior advocates of Nigeria are submitting themselves to the People's Court for judgment.
Because we all have to be on deck to unseat Arakuni Rotimi Akeredolu.
Tayo Jegede is my friend. I just pray that our campaign should be issue-based.
In November 2016, Rotimi humbled Jegede with more than 74,000 votes, though it is a game of 2 learned colleagues, and another learned friend hopes they will be civil.
The implication of their being members of the inner bar imposes a huge responsibility on them to show a new template and a new narrative for the conduct of campaigns and also for the conduct of elections.
Defeat is always a bitter pill, but for INEC and security chiefs, it is only the 1.8 million registered voters in Ondo State that will decide who deserves a bitter or sweet pill.
We will, using the forthcoming Edo and Ondo governorship elections, really set the pace for the kind of election that Nigerians desire.
And this is the beginning of the process to make sure that this country from now onward gets an election that will be exemplary to the rest of the world.
The sincerity of this promise is in the belly of time, and for the candidates, especially the 2 senior advocates of Nigeria, will history repeat itself, or is an upset on the card? The answer will come sometime in October 2020, all things being equal. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me join you in saying it's not a mayor contest. A bit of post-election adjudication now. The appeal court in Ilorin Division has, for the second time, upheld the victory of the People's Democratic Party candidate Rahim Agbola as member representing Ilorin South State constituency in the Kwara State House of Assembly. This followed the sack of Abdulaziz Elewu of the APC by the same court in November last year.
Rahim Agbola of PDP had filed an application to enforce the November 2019 judgment of the appeal court, which sacked Abdulaziz Elewu of APC as member representing Ilorin South State constituency and declared him as the duly elected member. Despite being issued a certificate of return by INEC, Agbola was not allowed to take his seat on the ground of an appeal before a federal high court instituted by the sacked lawmaker. While the application before the Federal High Court had been struck out, Agbola wanted the appeal court to compel the Speaker and Clerk of the Assembly to swear him in. The court in its ruling, read by Justice Uchechukwu Onyeminam, affirmed that the All Progressives Congress had no candidate in the election and ordered the Speaker of the House of Assembly and Clerk to swear in Agbola as a bona fide member representing Ilorin South State constituency. The sacked lawmaker is also to refund all salaries he had collected since November 2019.
Since the judgment of this court affects him directly, he has that right to be heard. The judge has delivered his ruling, clearly enforcing the judgment it had given on the 12th of November 2019.
We feel happy
that justice at the end will be achieved.
The court also awarded costs against the Speaker and the All Progressives Congress.
I don't know how those past salaries will be collected, but it has indeed been an unusual year so far, with the pandemic affecting human life in ways not anticipated. This has led to governments around the world thinking creatively to ensure that society continues to maintain an even keel. These, of course, demands creative legislations as well. We are being joined by Honorable Oganeima Ego, member representing Amuwo Odofin Federal Constituency of Lagos in the House of Representatives. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be around once more.
Yeah, the last time we had this conversation, we're talking palliatives, we're talking job creation initiatives. What is the status, especially in your highly populated constituency at the moment?
Well, let me say that it's been very difficult, not only for my constituency, for Nigerians, but for all over the world. You can see that in a place like America, they are losing close to 30 million jobs. Russia is losing, Brazil is losing, Britain is losing, Nigeria is losing jobs. And so it is with my constituency also. But all we are hoping, we are praying that God should help us so that this COVID-19 issue goes out. But I'm concentrating more on creating jobs using NTA. For instance, we're going to run a course of cosmetology with NTA, you know, for over 100 people in my constituency, in the hope that when they pick these new skills, it will be able to help them. We're also running a course on fashion designing. We have about 75 machines that are available for that exercise. We're trying to train people so that when you've lost job somewhere, blue-collar job, you can take on this to assist yourself. So it's not an easy thing. The COVID-19 is made it very difficult, but we have to be creative to come out of it.
The Ninth Assembly was commended severally at the beginning of the year for returning us to the January-December budget cycle. Of course, we do not anticipate this COVID-19, but what creative legislations have been put in place to make sure that we all move on an even keel as a society?
Well, just a week ago, the Speaker of the House, called a meeting of leaders to hand over a new legislative agenda. Because of COVID-19, we have to think out of the box. And some of the things that the Speaker talked about, Speaker Bajabiamila talked about, is creation of new jobs, helping the economy to get out of where they are, ensuring that things like electricity or that is available, so that people who have studied some skills on their own, they can find jobs for themselves. So at the National Assembly level, the Speaker is on top of the game, is well aware that a lot of Nigerians have lost their job and is planning hard. With the initiative we are carrying out, I'm sure that we'll be able to surmount the unemployment that will come out of the COVID-19
Let's
issue.
come briefly to your constituency. Apart from the pandemic, there was the pipeline explosion that devastated a lot of homes. And in terms of rehabilitation, where are we now?
Well, first, let me thank the Speaker who, coming to go and see the people the first time when the blast happened. And they're coming back and ensure that a motion was moved on it, where we call for government to come to the aid of the people. And I'm happy to say that NEMA has responded. They came to our aid positively. And of course, we've distributed on two occasions massive item rice, roofing sheets, and other things were distributed in the constituency. It's not enough though, but at least it's a start. And of course, as you are aware, Lagos State also raised a lot of money. I'm sure that very soon this money will also, the state government will release this money and it will be devoted to also rehabilitating these people. So on our part, we sympathize with our people, we work with them. A lot of them have still not been able to put their house back. A lot of them have still see the financial crunch that came with the bomb blast, but at least they are aware that the man they have elected at the Federal House of Rep did not abandon them, was with them, and ensured that at least they got something out of it.
All right, let's share some experiences with others in terms of this at least post-lockdown period. In Delta State, APC's Honorable Francis Waive of Whaley, North and South and Udu Federal Constituency says the pandemic affected youths who are artisans, but they have exhibited grit and resilience to gradually pick up their livelihoods.
You are correct.
And
You are
it's
correct.
affecting
I think
everywhere. But for my people, the good people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu, we've tried to be in touch. And the first thing we have done is to give hope. Because when there is no hope, then people can give up and life will be meaningless. So we've tried to give hope by talking to our people, also educating them on the health protocols such that we can keep the numbers affected in the community, in the communities low, because community infection is the issue at the moment. We've also reached out to vulnerable groups like women and people who are aged and ensure that they have some palliative. Those are some of the things we have done. We've also cascaded the government's approach such that at the grassroots, people are aware of what government is doing to alleviate the sufferings of the people. It's a difficult time, but we're soldiering on. The pandemic, very, very sad. What we have done as National Assembly is to reevaluate the basis on which the 2020 budget was enacted, the appropriation law. And the oil price has been brought down, and the expenditure, particularly capital, has also been reduced. And so a revised or reviewed budget has been enacted, and Mr. President has signed into law. So those fiscal discipline has been done from our end. And the federal government, too, kudos to Mr. President, has released here 50% on capital projects. That's very good. This is just August thereabouts, and 50% already released despite these challenges. So it's a question of work, being speeding up, such that before the end of the year we'll hit up to 70% or more of the current level of approvals that are in the budget. So we've had to cut the coat according to the available cloth, and I think that we'll come out of this.
All right, the beauty of democracy and the beauty of Nigeria is that Honorable Francis Waive is a member representing Willie Norton, sir. Where you are from originally?
That is true.
Is of the APC.
That's true.
You are in Lagos, originally from Delta,
yes.
of the PDP,
yes.
in an APC state.
Yeah.
Nigerians are saying, as watchers of Nigerian political space, you saw the earlier stories in terms of verbal jousting and all, in terms of understanding and shake across the table for national development. What will be your comments at this time, especially as two states get ready for elections?
Well, this COVID-19 time, as the states get ready for election, my advice is that they should not take things for granted, because sometimes when you are a campaign, you get carried away. You see people mobbing each other, holding each other, and in such a situation, there could be a major spread of COVID-19. So my advice to those from Edo State and Ondo State is that the leaders should continue to advise their followers. Everybody knows there's going to be a vote. The date is already known. They don't necessarily need to mob each other or do dancing as we used to do of old in campaign. We need to monitor it. They need to, the television stations and radio stations need to broadcast to the people regularly, letting them aware there's COVID-19. In my constituency, I provided a lot of face masks for people, and I don't think it will be out of date or out of the way for those in Ondo and Edo State to also provide enough face masks for those who are going for campaigns. Because if they don't do that, of course, you'll find out that by the time they win, they will be ruling people who are sick, and they could experience a lot of death. And I don't think that is the best thing.
All right. We're looking at gradual ease of lockdowns also, especially in the education sector, those who are having exit examinations that will maybe conducted soon. You, of course, from a very highly populated area. What are the conversations like in your area, especially also with the state government?
Well, this is more the jurisdiction of the state government, but I think that if there are necessities, education is one of such necessity. Because if we don't educate our people, then of course we are going into trouble. An uneducated workforce is a terrible workforce, and we cannot breed illiteracy. So I think that even though there's COVID-19, we should not allow education to slip off our hand. Otherwise, we'll be going back. I personally will encourage our state governor and my local government chairman in Amuodofi that they should allow children to go to school. All government needs to do and we are part of it, is to provide face masks, do the usual social distancing. For instance, as a few churches are doing, you have a morning section and afternoon section. I know Jacques have wiped out morning, afternoon, and evening section before, but do this COVID-19 so that there's not too much cramping together in the class. They can have two sets. You know, it's better than allow children to wait for 1 or 2 years without going to school, and then at the end of the day lose interest in education, and then we'll end up with having area boys. So I think that the government, especially my government in Lagos State and in my constituency, the local government chairman, I encourage them that they should allow schools to open. You know, I have 2 buses that carry children to and from school. We have agreed with my drivers that we will do social distancing as we carry them to school. So it is important that we do not, because of COVID-19, allow the educational background of our children to become negative.
All right, a lot of people agree with you, and a lot also say that there must be a sensitive balance between health and wealth. All right, sir, if we still have time, let's take this one. Udo Ekpenyong is the new state chairman of the PDP in Akwa Ibom State. Ekpenyong emerged during the state congress of the party this week.
The State Congress of the party, which is led by Governor Odom Emmanuel, is aimed at electing new officers to pilot the affairs of the party for the next 4 years. Speaking at the Congress, which had about 3,845 delegates drawn from chapters and wards across the 31 local government areas in the state, Governor Odom Emmanuel enjoined the incoming officials to ensure that the umbrella party remains intact and stronger. He commended the outgoing officers of the party for maintaining peace, harmony, and unity in the state during their tenure.
I also want to appreciate PDP in Akwa Ibom State. PDP in Akwa Ibom State is a model of PDP and party politics in Nigeria. Quote me anywhere. INEC people are here. Other observers are here. Let them tell me which states have they gone and party congress in a state will be as organized, as orderly, as peaceful, as transparent, as, cohesive as what we've seen today in Akwa Ibom.
All right, on that, of course, governors always use that platform to campaign. That's the program today. Many thanks to Honorable Ogene Ima from Lagos and from Delta for coming on.
From Abuja, Federal Constituency.
Yes.
I don't want my people in Lagos to protest.
Okay, that's the program for today. Many thanks to everybody for being a part of it, and of course to our Muslim brothers and sisters enjoying the Salah celebrations. Continue with the Nigerian Television Authority, where we give you the very best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.